Hello class. I wanted to take a moment to actually show you how to build a Gantt chart in Tableau. I know that we're going to do this for the following week's assignment, but maybe I can give you a little bit of preview and you can get started earlier. This is a great long weekend and you have a lot of opportunities to do things. So here you can see what a Gantt chart looks like. And the way it works in Tableau is if you hit the presentation mode, just like in PowerPoint, you can see it in presentation mode. You can hover over it. You can see the number of days I worked in a particular job. So it tells a different story. I actually inserted the logos as well. But let me get you started to how you create this one chart in Tableau. The first key to doing in Tableau is to actually build it in Excel. So I had an Excel sample I sent out yesterday. If you fill out this information, at a minimum, the company you work for, the start date, the end date, and then more information is just for tooltips, and when you hover over, you can see it. But if you fill out these three columns at the very least, you'll be able to create your resume. Now I'm expecting high quality digital resumes, something like this that you hover over, it can actually tell you an awful lot of information. So how do we do this? So we already fill in the chart like I showed you. This is Excel, just type in the rows, the from date, end date. Then that will be your data set. So when you go to Tableau, if you think about it, you go in here, voila, you get the data set. But if you start off in the fresh version of Tableau, and you're doing it from scratch, you haven't done anything like that, and I already created the one. If you start with a fresh version, you open up Tableau, and you wait for the new one to open. I think I clicked it, I hope. I missed it, obviously I didn't click it. Or it's thinking out. So you can go File New, that's the other way of doing it. It's opening up here. Give it a second. Voila, it opened up. Now, it comes out blank, right? So what you do then is you simply go in and you go to the Data Source tab. And you go Microsoft Excel once you create the data. And Tableau Resume Detail, it's the same tab you just looked at, and you click Open. Then what you do is you drag the career page into where it said drag sheets here. Let's see if we can back up and do that again. See, it says drag sheets here. You drag the career page there. Now, it says company, and that may not be good. So I like institution because you could change it here. You saw mine, it said institution, because really I had academic institutions and I had company institutions. Now let's make a Gantt chart. The way to make a Gantt chart is you simply take your institution, which was company from your file, you put it in rows, you put the start date into the columns, you change the start date to day, and you also change the start date to continuous, and it's fine. You see the Gantt chart's there, but it doesn't show you the nice duration, right? Where the Gantt chart actually shows you duration. That's what the reason we need to do that is we need to calculate days. Let's go back to the other chart where I already put the formula. And I emailed the formula to everybody already. So you already have the formula. So if you go into the Gantt chart, you see the days formula. And that's the formula that I gave you. See, it was date difference. It's the difference between the start date and the end date. So if you were doing a Gantt chart, you always have to do that, right? So we go to this place here, below the number of records, under measures, you right click, you choose create calculated field, you type in days, then you paste the formula, it says the calculation is valid, you say okay. Now you create the days. Then you drag the days over the size element here, and voila, you have created your first Gantt chart. You go in presentation mode, and you can see how it works. That's how you get started. The other thing is just take a moment. If you want to use different kind of charts, you can hit show me and go to number charts. Like this, you can use, and it tells you tree maps, one or more dimensions on the bottom. You can go different tree maps and things. There's all kinds of things you can do when you go through these charts. You can switch to mode. So now you know a little bit more about how to get there and how to create things. But one of the class expectations as you create your shell is to definitely have the Gantt chart. Now I've shown you how to do that, and you can be able to take the Gantt chart, you can recreate from scratch, or you can go through any of those modes through Show Me. This is just a virtual lesson to get you started because you might have time this weekend to do some of this work and you're not at your corporate office.